What's up, party people? Welcome to Bold Voices. I'm Angela Bel Camino. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I already see Kay Rodriguez like, let's go. Let's go. Okay, music is good. Away we go. And away we go. That is right. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing, reposting the stream, we would really appreciate it. You can like it. And if you haven't subscribed over on YouTube, please do. That would be amazing. And chat with us. We want to interact with you as much as possible. So excited about our special guest tonight and the amazing panel. So have some fun with us, please. We want to hear from you. If you have questions, thoughts, anything, we love it. So we want to hear from you. So excited. Our special guest today is the North Carolina-based blogger, podcaster, social media personality, the voice behind popular online platform media brand Where the Dogwood Blooms. She hosts the Where the Dogwood Blooms podcast, which focuses on celebrating North Carolina local culture and traditions. She went viral on social media after posting about a confrontation related to wearing a freedom shirt following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So we definitely want to hear all about that story. But first, I want to go ahead and introduce our amazing special guest tonight. Cassie Clark is in the house, and we have Hannah Griffin J joining the fun. Cassie, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to meet you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first up, just so we can like learn a little bit before we get into, politics or like the confrontation, the incident, because I'm so curious to know about that. I guess a little bit about, learning more about your story, who you are. You are an 8th generation North Carolinian or North Carolina? I'm assuming, but I don't want to say
Carolinian. You said it right.
Okay. What stories or memories about your family and your upbringing kind of best capture the culture that you grew up in North Carolina?
Let's see. That's a hard question to answer. There's so many. I talk about it all the time. I spent my younger years with my mama and papa, and that was in Western North Carolina, and they were just a trip. Like my papa, he didn't say fire, he said far. And so he would get to cussing and he would be like, even though he'll far, he gets so mad. But I grew up on a cattle farm and it was just very idyllic. And so I missed that. And that ended up creating a whole entire brand, just missing being a child in North Carolina.
Yeah. Was there sort of the origin, like what was the origin story? Was there a particular moment where you created this whole blog brand Where the Dogwood Blooms? What is how did that all come about? How long ago?
So my kids are homeschooled, but of course they have friends who aren't homeschooled, right? And so there was this time period, probably around 2020, 2019, where my kids were telling me, they were like, we're white, we have no culture, or Southern culture is bad, and just this crazy stuff that they were like saying like over dinner. And it irritated me so bad. And I was like, you're saying these things because you don't understand North Carolina. You don't understand where you're from. Like you don't. And so one day I was just sitting around and I have this blogger that I absolutely love, and the blog's called Blind Pig and the Acorn, and she focuses just on Appalachia. And I was like, it would be great if there was a blog like this about North Carolina. And I'm irritated with my kids, and I'm like, you know what? I'll create that blog. And so that's what I did.
That's amazing. Do you think you've been able to change their minds through it?
Yeah, my oldest, definitely. My oldest is she shocks me. She's made like a 180. Like she tells people like my mom is the queen of North Carolina. Like she knows everything about the state. And my youngest, she's getting there. I think it might take a little bit more time, but she's getting there.
Well, it sounds like you have found a way to do what you love and what you're really passionate about. And it sounds very positive. And probably is a very rewarding, uplifting thing to do, which is really neat because I don't know, a lot of, a lot of people don't necessarily like what they do or aren't happy. And I love that you have found a way to, to do and share what you love with others.
Oh, I love what I do. Love it. I get to travel my state all the time. I get to talk about my family. I get to, I mean, and not just like my current family, like my grandparents, my parents, and, all the way back. I get to share like my history and just it's phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think is misunderstood about the South? Like, what do people get wrong about it?
Oh, race relations, without a doubt. People think I have literally had people from Illinois, Chicago, like California, New York, Michigan. They're like, people down there are racist. You don't
Mhm.
have any interactions with other people. I'm like, dude, I come from a family that is white, Native American, Black, and Hispanic. What are you talking about? Like, and that's always been our normal. That's not something new. That's always been our normal. And I think that people automatically assume you're Southern, so you don't have friends who aren't white, or, and that is the biggest load of horseshit on the planet. Like, we deal with each other all the time. We're in each other's families. Like, and I think that people get that wrong.
Yeah, well, I love that you're a myth buster. We love exposing like all these kind of assumptions and narratives that people create. It's just whether it's that or who we are online. Yeah, we love to to tell the truth, like myth bust all these things that people make up in their minds. So that's a beautiful thing that you're able to help people see the light and see the truth.
I mean, and it's not like my family's unique. Like, all Southern families are like mine. I feel like it's not strange. Like, this is just the way that it is. But I think that because people aren't familiar with the culture, they're not familiar with the lifestyle, they automatically assume that,
Mhm.
that we're all separated and segregation is still a thing. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not true at all.
Which is such a problem for people to make assumptions and jump to conclusions, right? Rather than informing themselves and doing the research and being like, well, I'm not going to assume to know about this thing that I've never experienced. It's wild that they're just like come to that conclusion without any experience or knowledge.
Oh yeah. I mean, people will tell me, because I'll often talk about the Gullah Geechee, I talk about the Cherokee, the Lumbee, and there's always somebody who pops up and they're like, "You can't talk about that. You don't know anything about that." And I'm like, "Really?" Because my brother-in-law is a Gullah Geechee and my cousins are Lumbee and I have cousins that are Cherokee, and so I know about these things firsthand. Like, it's not like I'm inventing it.
Yeah. I just want to shout out Kay Rodriguez said, LOL, I'm irritated with my kids too. I love the grandbabies. My kids' generation is broken and they're hard to fix. Well, I know I'm not a parent, so I'm sure it's really tough, but
Oh, your kids test your patience. That's what they're good at. It's their job.
very strength building, but I'm sure also very rewarding. What about if someone kind of along the same lines, if someone from like, let's say California or New York, because you mentioned that too, spent a week in rural North Carolina, what do you think would surprise them most? Anything else that we haven't,
The
other than
probably
the race thing? And
the wildlife, maybe. I think that people move to North Carolina and I'll see like photos, like people will be like, "Look at this panther." And it's like, that's not a panther, that's a bobcat. Or they're shocked that there's alligators in southeastern North Carolina. And it's like, did you not research at all before you decided to uproot your life and move here? Like, they have no clue and they're like shocked. And I'm like, yeah, we have animals here.
yeah, I don't know why that would surprise people. And so, yeah, I also don't want to hijack the conversation. So Jay and Hannah, if you want to jump in at any point, have questions for Cassie, are there things that you want to know about North Carolina and life? And
Well, So like I Cassie and I followed each other. I don't remember when we followed each other or whatever. Like we followed each other a ways back, but this is before I knew who Cassie was. And the thing is like North Carolina is such a beautiful state. Like it really is. Like
Don't move here though.
it's
That's not an advertisement. None of y'all move here.
Well,
well
you're kind of a walking advertisement for North
yeah,
Carolina. I don't know.
it really is like the army does a lot of training up in Asheville, and I did an outward bound thing back in like I think it was like 2010 or whatever. Like I did this outward bound trip or whatever. We were in Pisgah up by Looking Glass, and it was like one of the coolest experiences in my life, and it's such a beautiful state. And I think people take a lot of these states for granted. And you know, when I saw Cassie or whatever, when I saw her like looking into all the things that her state has to offer, you know, I think about like a lot of these states have a lot to offer and we just don't realize it. We don't look into the goods. We focus on the negative and stuff like that. And so when I see a cool account out there going out and exploring and showing all the good things that her state has to offer and stuff like that, I really just cling to it. And you know, some of my favorite accounts are from North Carolina. Margot is one of my favorite people on the planet. Cassie is another person that I really just cling to. And you know, I you know, Don Brown was something that was near and dear to my heart, which really hurt that he didn't get the Republican nominee. But the thing is like seeing these accounts out there doing positive things, shedding positive light on such a cool place. And I love the East Coast. I'm from the Midwest. I lived in like Midwest and Alaska when I was growing up, but I really like the East Coast is home to me now. Like I really, there's so much going on out here. It's so much beauty. We have the coast, we have the mountains, we have all these different things going on, and the culture and the history. And the other part is like, I'm in Georgia, not far from you, but the thing is like everybody is friendly around here. Like you can just walk in my neighborhood and people will stop and talk to you, and it is the coolest thing. They will tell you their whole life story. They will share with you, like if you ask them for anything, they will bend over backwards and give it to you. Southern hospitality is a real thing. And so it's just, you know, such a cool part of America that I don't think a lot of people get to experience, and I wish they did. And I thank people like Cassie for putting it out there because it's a real thing. It's an awesome part of Americana.
I think that a lot of people move to North Carolina, and at this point, we are so saturated with people from other states. And they're like, locals are so mean. And it's like, no, actually, we're not. We're really, really incredible people. The problem is when you've got so many new people and everybody wants, you know, they're like, we need to tear down these statues. You can't do this anymore. They complain about the way the locals talk in the grocery store lines. And it's like, yeah, well, when you come down here and you're ugly to us, do you think we're going to be nice back? That's not the way it works. But I do agree. Southern hospitality is a real thing. I caught myself today. I must have waved at like 10 people from my house to the grocery store, which is like 5 minutes away. And
Yeah.
I was like, God, I'm literally the epitome of the Carolina girl like this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a woman that, and God bless her, she lives like 3 houses down from me. Her name is Lila. I'm telling you, if you walk by her house, you are gonna spend 45 minutes talking to this woman. Like she is so nice. She's gonna tell you everything about what's going on or whatever, and she's gonna ask you about everything that's going on in your life. Southern hospitality is a real thing. Like it's just so cool. It's something like that I didn't experience in Minnesota. Like honestly, like people don't do that or whatever up in Minnesota. Like I love the South. It's my new home, and I appreciate everything about it.
I concur with all of this because, so Cassie, I don't know if you know this about me, but I just moved back to Florida after living in New York City for the past 13 years. So it is a drastic difference. Like, it is so funny how nice everyone is in Florida as well. It's like if I was visiting a friend, like every neighborhood, everyone waves to you. It's like, it's just so funny. It's an ongoing thing. Everyone smiles and waves. And
Was it culture shock when you moved?
Well, I'm originally from Florida. So I was born and raised here, but then moved in 2013 to the city. So I moved back. So I'm very like used to, some things have changed since I've been here, but yeah, I'm a Floridian, a native Floridian at heart. So it's, kind of like how I was, I guess. But yeah, it's just, I guess it's nice. It's refreshing for me. That's kind of what I was looking for at this point, was to get back to this kind of laid back pace and be around friends and family and have nice weather. It's just brighter all around.
I went to Michigan a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I'd never really left the South before that I could remember. And so we go to Michigan, and it's only like a 2-day trip. Like, it's not something big extended thing. And we get beyond the point where you can no longer get sweet tea. And I started freaking out. There's no sweet tea. There's no boiled peanuts. Nobody sounds like me. There was only unisex bathrooms everywhere. Like, I was in full blown panic mode. It was awful.
Yeah, actually, right. So the biggest culture shock for me was moving to New York, I guess, from Florida. That was a huge adjustment and took me a lot of time, but I'm very proud of it because it did strengthen me in so many ways. And I also had a lot of experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise. But that was definitely a culture shock for me. But it was a growing thing. It did help me grow as a person.
I just went to the South for the first time recently. I went to Louisiana and I fell in love with it. I mean, I must have said to my husband like 10 times when I was there, like, God, everybody is just so sweet here. Like, so nice, genuinely like interested in like, if, how's your day going? Like, it doesn't feel like just kind of like a nicety. Like it honestly feels like everyone cares about everyone. That's the impression I got just from being there for a short time, but I absolutely loved it. And it's funny because growing up in the Pacific Northwest, I've only ever lived in Oregon and in California. And growing up in the Pacific Northwest compared to California, it's like, oh, people in the Pacific Northwest are super nice. But having gone to the South now and just seeing how people behave and just treat each other there, it's like the people in the Pacific Northwest are not nice. Like that, I was so disillusioned. It's just a whole different type of like atmosphere there. I don't know. I absolutely fell in love with it.
Well, the respect thing is completely different here. Like, everybody is on the same level. Nobody is above anybody else. And like the neighbor that I mentioned before or whatever, like if I pass by her and she's out in her yard or whatever, like I stop and like, you have to say hi. Like, it's a respect thing. And it's like, it's so humbling that you're all an equal or whatever, like in the South or whatever. And like, but it's like, like it's such a like, it's so comforting that everybody like treats each other so well. Like it's like, it doesn't, black, white, it doesn't matter, like Hispanic, like it doesn't matter who you are.
You know why, right?
Respect.
Yeah, we have it's the Southern Honor Code. And it's something that you don't even realize it, but you're being taught the Southern Honor Code as you grow up. And so we all kind of see eye to eye on respect and the way you're supposed to treat one another. We all get offended about the same things, right? I mean, you will hear every Southerner bitch. Like, if I wave at you and I'm driving by and you don't wave at me, we have a problem, right? Like if I hold the door open for somebody and they don't say thank you, we have a problem. And it's the Southern Honor
Code. That. Oh my God. I hate that so much. I'm like, you're welcome. Like I have to catch myself from not being like, you're welcome.
Yeah, my thing is if I call you ma'am and you get offended, I automatically, like, I'll look at you and I'll be like, should I call you bitch instead? Because this can go either way. Like, you can have my respect or not. Like,
I love it. Hannah, you saw that Paul said hi, and then Paul said,
Hi,
sorry,
Paul.
I spelled your name wrong.
Yeah, get it right. Jeez.
Yeah. Kevin is saying hi by telling us that Lindsey Graham is still gay. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for tuning in.
He definitely is.
Tweetsy
True.
is in Growing Rock, North Carolina.
Very true.
Toot toot. In California, we use our middle finger to wave from our cars. Yeah. In New York also. That's also in New York.
That is accurate.
that would cause road rage here.
I do miss how people drive in California. That's one thing. Like,
What?
oh man. What's that?
How do they drive in California? I haven't been there actually.
Yeah.
Everybody has you're going. You gotta get to the place that you're going. People up here, like, I don't know how people get anywhere. Like driving 45 miles an hour on the freeway in the fast lane, it drives me freaking bananas. People up here cannot drive. People in California can drive.
You wouldn't like Georgia. Like, everybody drives in the left lane. Like, they block traffic. So
They don't use their turn signals.
they don't. Yeah, they're in no rush. Like, so you wouldn't like Georgia at all.
It's a slower life down there. I feel like California is like the epitome of like fast pace and go go go, and like that it really is. That's the lifestyle down there. Like it's hurry up and go all the time.
A lot of
I'm one of those
similarities.
people where if somebody is behind me and they honk, like, because some people, 2 or 3 seconds and they start honking. Oh, don't do that. I'll sit
That's
there.
New York. New York is like, it's a noticeable difference now at like a stoplight. People are just taking their time in Florida. It's like, if I'm so used to New York, if you're not on the pedal, like, forget about it. Like,
I'm the honker here in Oregon because like I get stuck behind those people and I'm like, go, how do you get anywhere? I get like crazy in my car by myself.
what do you think about this one, Cassie? Joshua is saying a Southern woman usually means the opposite if she calls you sweetheart.
Mine is pumpkin. So anybody who follows me on X knows that if I call you pumpkin, we have beef, right? Like, there's a problem. And bless your heart can either be, heartfelt and sweet, or it can be the biggest middle finger ever. Like,
Yeah, that's funny. You have called yourself a coastal hillbilly. Is that right?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
So my parents had me when they were 17. And so my early years were spent with my mama and papa in Western North Carolina. And so I was very submerged in hillbilly culture, and that was my formative years. And so I'm very much a hillbilly in the way that I view the world. I want to be left alone. I do things very, very old school. Like, I cook from scratch. I can food, like the whole 9 yards. But then when I was about 9, I moved to Wilmington, North Carolina, which is where my mama's family is from. And I lived with her until I was grown, and then for another several years. And so I got very into that whole beach bum vibe was instilled in me. And so I'm pretty much half of both. And if anybody who's actually from North Carolina, they can tell you that hillbillies and beach bums are both very similar in that we are laid back. We don't get stressed about stupid stuff. We're very, like, if I'm late somewhere, I don't care. Like, it's just, I'm late. It is what it is. Deal with it. I don't put pressure on myself about dumb things, like just little things. There's the lazy stereotype. I might fit that a little bit. Like, I'm just I have both of these extreme cultures that are make up who I am. And so I'm totally, a beach Billy, if you will.
That's really cool. I feel like people in general need more of that, need to adopt more of that, because I don't know, we can put so much pressure on ourselves or stress over the smallest thing. Like, a little thing can just ruin people's day. So it is important to remind yourself and reframe and really be like, okay, this is not the end of the world. Like, what really matters here? What
Yeah.
is
It drives my
really
kids nuts because my kids did not grow up in either place. And so they are very, like my youngest, it's her senior year. She has all this stuff going on, and she will pester me for every single day until something is due. Like we just did something for the yearbook. I can't remember what it was. It was like shout outs or something. And she reminded me every single day. And finally I just looked at her and I was like, look, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this is not going to get done until the very last day. So you can just stop bothering me and let me know on the last day and it's going to get done. So I got that done in about 5 minutes. And I was like, see, all done. No pain. You didn't have to fuss at me. It got done. Like, relax. But it drives them insane.
Yeah, well, I definitely get the beach bum vibe. I grew up in a beach town in Florida, so that has always been like my happy place. Like if I'm at the beach, if I'm on the water, like, so I love that. The whole laid back vibe fits for me too.
It drives me crazy when people complain about other people out in the day during pajamas. And I'm like, dude, I grew up in a beach town. We used to go to high school in our pajamas and flip flops because who wants to get dressed?
Yeah, everybody needs to just chill out a little bit. We need to chill out a little bit. We need more chill vibes in our lives. Tweetsy said, bless your heart is the Southern slight that matches the British ah bless. I don't know much about the ah bless, but from the people who've spent time around British people. What other, are there any other parts we haven't talked about Southern culture that you really love, or things that you're worried are disappearing in Southern culture?
I mean, that's really the problem, right? Is things disappearing. I think that earlier you asked like why I kind of started doing this. And yeah, it was because my kids were complaining. But when you look around North Carolina at this point, up to 50% of North Carolina residents are not born in North Carolina. And that's not including second generation, like, people. And so that means that local North Carolinians are actually vastly outnumbered. And our culture is disappearing everywhere. When you look at like our barbecue scene, like North Carolina barbecue is straight up pork. That's what it is. You're going to find pork no matter where you're at in the state. And then in southeastern North Carolina is going to be whole hog, which is really what North Carolina barbecue sprang out of. And then in western North Carolina, which isn't really western North Carolina, Lexington. So in Lexington barbecue, you're going to find pork shoulder. One is going to have a vinegar pepper sauce, and the other is going to have a vinegar tomato sauce. And Lexington barbecue got started around World War I. So in Western North Carolina, you can really find either or. But these things are disappearing. Now, no matter where you go in North Carolina, you're going to find brisket. You're going to find burnt ends. You're going to find all this fake stuff pretending to be barbecue, and it's really not. So, I mean, that's disappearing, right? And then, a bagel when I was a kid, what the fuck is a bagel? I had no idea. And now you have bagel shops no matter what town you're in North Carolina. I mean, it's just from our accents to our food, like just everything is disappearing. And I think that's incredibly sad. So that kind of motivated me too, is I want people to know like how you're supposed to pronounce certain words and what our food is like and what our real culture looks like, because these newcomers, they have no idea. They're completely lost.
Yeah, well, I think it is. That's got to be very concerning, being you. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you're raising awareness and honoring, your culture there, and keeping it alive and reminding people, and that's a beautiful thing.
I hope so. I hope people appreciate it.
I mean, it sounds like it for sure, and you've been super successful in doing it. Blog, podcast. I think it's an awesome thing, and it's bringing positivity to you, your kids, your family, other people. So.
You got retweeted by Elon Musk. Like you're badass.
That's what we're going to get into now, because we really want to know about what happened. I don't know what your political journey really has been like. But what I do know, and you can tell us, is that you wore a freedom shirt soon after, I guess, the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a little picture of your post, and we can see how many views it got in the 21 plus million. This is only part of it, but
Wow. So I haven't always been political. I think that that's typical for North Carolinians, right? Is for the vast majority of us, we don't want to be messed with. We really just want to be left alone. And politics when I was growing up was always very private. And I actually grew up in a very Democrat family. My grandparents were extremely Democrat. My daddy was Democrat. My mama was always kind of independent. And so when I started all of this, I used to get irritated on X because it was just political posts, political posts, political posts. Like no matter what you're scanning, I used to just block everybody. Like I would just block political accounts. Like if all you did was share politics, like I would block you and move on. Like because I didn't want to see it all the time. And so as I'm doing X, like I'm starting to notice like no matter what I did, people were politicizing my content. Like I could be talking about barbecue or an accent, and somebody would pop up and be like, you better watch out for the liberals, or you're just a conservative wench, you know, whatever it was. Like people were just always like attacking me about politics. And finally at one point I kind of stood up and I was like, you know, I'm a conservative, you know, like for those of you who don't know, and like I have no problem with liberals. If you're a liberal, cool, like whatever, like just leave this out of my, like stop arguing in my comment section. And so that became like a rule for a really long time. And then Irina Zarutska happened. And first Hurricane Helene happened. Hurricane Helene happens. I'm from Western North Carolina and I'm angry. And the North Carolina General Assembly did a couple of hearings about something called NCORE, which was supposed to take care of previous storms. And at this point, we find out that there are still over 1,000 people who aren't in their homes, and that Roy Cooper had just royally screwed the pooch. And so I'm covering this, like I'm giving people like notes on what's going on with NCORE. And really that was kind of my slide into politics. So then at the same time, Hurricane Helene's going on, and I am working with people like Matt Van Swall, Margot in Western North Carolina, Sean Hendricks. I am running supplies. Like my whole life gets turned upside down because I'm from Canton, North Carolina, and they were hit. Buncombe County, one county over, was just completely destroyed. And so that made it a little worse. And then Irina Zarutska happened. And I watched this video and like the whole entire thing and just cried throughout because this is North Carolina. This is sleepy little North Carolina. Nothing happens here. I mean, that's the way I've always viewed my home state. And I watched this happen and I'm like, no, something is going wrong. And this is not okay. And then Charlie Kirk happened. And so I get invited to go to the Salt and Light Conference, and I'm conservative and I am Christian, but I'm not, I really don't link the two together. And so I go to the Salt and Light Conference and I get to meet some incredible people. And I bought the Charlie Kirk t-shirt while I was there. And so the last day, I would call it the foothills of Western North Carolina, because I'm from the fancy tall mountains. But me and my daughter, like we hadn't got to see anything. And I'm like, well, let's not go today. Let's go out and we'll go pick some apples and we'll go sightseeing and we'll enjoy home before we have to leave and, you know, go back to the flatlands. And so we go do all these things and I wasn't even thinking about it. I just put on a t-shirt, put on my jeans, and out the door we left. And I'd always heard that these people are experiencing these crazy things, right? Like you wear a political shirt and all of a sudden people are in your face. And I always thought, no way. Like, this is North Carolina. Like, half of my family was Democrat when I was growing up. The other half was Republican. And of course, there were like some independents thrown in between, and everybody got along. Like, there was no big deal. Half of my friends are Democrat. Like, we argue politics. We still get along. We still call and check on each other, whatever.
Yeah.
And I put on this shirt, and me and my daughter, we go and we pick apples. And I notice people are like staring at me. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? Like, and we get in the car, and I look down, and I'm like, oh my God. And my kid looks at me, and she's like, what? And I'm wearing a Charlie Kirk t-shirt. That's why people are staring. And she was like, nah. And I was like, okay. So we leave, and we go to this cute little town, and it's called Little Switzerland. And we go to this little restaurant, and we sit down, and this guy walks up, and he's got a dog with him, and I'm loving on his dog, and he and I speak, and like we had a great interaction. He sits down behind us, and I get up. I kind of had a headache, and they have like this little general store next door. And so I get up, and I tell my daughter, like, hey, if the food comes, like, just throw, a napkin over mine. I'll be right back. And I go next door, grab some Tylenol, and I'm walking back. And when he sees me, because he's seated right behind us, me and him like meet eyes, and he sees my shirt, and he's like, is that a Charleston shirt? And I'm like, no, sir, it's a Charlie Kirk t-shirt. And immediately his whole attitude changes. And he just like keeps picking at it and keeps picking at it. And he's getting louder and louder. And like every time I try to say something back, because he's like, Charlie Kirk wouldn't like people like me. He thought I was, unworthy, blah blah blah, and he didn't like gay people. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. And then he immediately started again, and like no matter what I said, like he just got more angry and louder. And I was like, okay, sir, you have a nice day. And I turn around, and he speeds through his food, and because he'd had his dog with him, he couldn't go inside, but he came with a group of people. And so they went inside and ate inside, and he was outside with his dog. He speeds through his food, which got there after mine. Like, so he's like speed eating, and he pays and then leaves and walks across the street instead of waiting for his friends. And I was like, okay, so I'm supposed to be the hateful one, but my t-shirt
Right.
has offended this man so much that he literally could not be near me. And after we left, I was just so angry. I was so frustrated. And so I pulled over on the side of the road. We were going to a museum. There's a mineral museum that was nearby, and we were going to go look. So my kid is in love with like, gemstones and all that stuff. So we go and we look around, and I pull over, and I just fire off a tweet. I wasn't even thinking about it. And every few minutes, my phone goes off, and my daughter is like, you just got 100,000 views. And I'm like, what? No way. Mom, you've got 300,000 views. I'm like, no way. And eventually we get to like 500,000 views. And I talked to my husband on the phone, and I'm telling him, I was like, my phone is going off like every second. He's like, you need to get off off the highway. And so I cut off on the back road, and I don't even think about it anymore. I put my phone on mute. Like, I'm not thinking about it. We get all the way back into town, and my husband had asked us to stop and pick up supper. And so we stopped and picked up supper, and we're getting ready to like come back home. Like, we're 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes away, probably 5, 4. And he calls me, and he goes, I think Elon Musk just retweeted you. And I'm like, you don't even have Twitter. What are you talking about? And he's like, my friend Andrew just texted, and he says that Elon Musk has retweeted you. I almost wrecked the car.
I'm glad you didn't. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is wild.
So I check it, and I'm like, oh my God, Elon Musk retweeted me. And I mean, and it went like not just viral, like majorly viral. I mean,
Yeah.
so there were the whole threads. Like it was crazy. It was an experience.
Yeah. It's wild. It's sad. the country is just so divided and people are so angry and it's so heated. And I'm with you. I have friends, a lot of liberal friends. I have friends all over the place, and it gets heated for reasons that I don't understand really. They're just, and people aren't listening. I know people are passionate, but I think a lot of it is the rhetoric, the media, and it's really getting people amped up. I can't imagine how you felt after.
Well, on the extreme left, you're not allowed to have compassion, right? Cassie is not a super political person, right?
Yeah.
And they don't accept that you can have compassion for a person like this, and it's just that's a problem, right? That's not human nature. That's not healthy. And Cassie, like this is the reason why I wanted to bring her on here. But like she's a good person, and she was persecuted for having human, like it's not politics. It doesn't have anything to do with politics. It really, like it's just human nature, and people have lost sight of that fact. They get lost in the politics of everything. They get lost in the extreme pendulum swings or whatever. Like it's just really like it's a bad thing that we're doing here. And we're human. We can have compassion. We can this is beyond politics. And we I just don't know what else to say about it. Like it's something that we should all we should be, it should be a rallying point for all of us.
Yeah. And, it makes me think of how disgusting it was when people were celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, right? People on that was completely disgusting. Just, yeah, mind boggling. But and just because you're wearing a shirt or you have, empathy, like you said, Jay, compassion, etc., like this terrible thing happened to him and his family, doesn't necessarily mean that you had to agree with everything that he said, right? But you can feel terrible about what happened to him, or think that he meant well, had good intentions, did a lot of good things in terms of having conversations, which a lot of people are not willing to do. And
even if he didn't, even if he was like this hardcore, like negative person, like I don't like celebrate their death, right? Like
yeah,
George Floyd, I don't think he was like a career criminal or whatever, like, but like I don't celebrate his death. Like it's a sad situation, like with the fentanyl and all the things
watching that.
Yeah, like I don't like I don't like think that's a great thing that this dude fucking died. Like I think it's a sad situation, like the drug abuse, like all these different things that he came from the same place where I did. Like he's from Minnesota or whatever. Like I feel compassion for for him, for the people around him or whatever. Like it's not something that I celebrate. Like I don't like, oh great, this dude died or whatever. Like it's not like, that's not.
I think that the leftists have forgotten that you can be indifferent about something like that. Like they feel like they have to either like be on the person's side or completely against them and say terrible things about them. It's like you could actually just say nothing. Like, didn't anybody's parents teach them, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all? Like, that's the rule that I was raised on. It's like, if you don't feel good about him, you can be indifferent about his death and you don't have to say anything about it. Like, it doesn't have to be this, oh, he was evil and I'm happy he's dead. Like, it's a very bizarre thing that the right does not do. Like, after Charlie died, I've mentioned on here before, I think the vigil that I went to was one of the very first ones in the country. And my dad used to be a police officer around here. He lives in Arizona now, but when I was getting ready to go to the vigil, he was really worried. He was like, is it going to be safe? You know, like he contacted his friends at the police department of the town that was in and was, you know, let them know that this was happening and that I was going to be there, and he was worried about it and stuff. So there were police posted up there, but it was crazy to me. Like, I hadn't really thought about it until my dad brought it up. It's like, we're going here somewhere to pray, to meet with other people who were impacted and felt a certain way about Charlie and want to get together and honor his life. And we have to worry about crazy people showing up to like protest or ruin a moment like that. That's really coming from a place of like good faith and just support and love. And, you know, luckily no one showed up. I think that the location that they picked was good. It was far enough away from Portland that the crazy Antifa people weren't going to bother to come out and make a fuss, and they had cops there the whole time and everything. But yeah, it's sad that they can't just be indifferent about it. They have to like take a stance against it or completely support it. Like it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to have an opinion on everything, and you don't have to share your opinion on everything. Like no one is asking.
Not only that, but I feel like extreme leftists, it's not just, you don't have to say something that they just disagree with, right? Like, because my post, I don't say anything negative about liberals. I didn't bash anybody. Like, I just said what was on my mind and heart at that moment. And I got death threats over it. Like, it was so bad that my husband went out and immediately bought me a handgun because he was like, you're not going out in the world after this without me knowing that you at least have a way to protect yourself. And I mean, that went on for weeks, maybe even months after that post went viral. It still happens today occasionally, just because somebody will see that post and be like, oh, you know, here we go. And so you don't even have to do something that offends their sensibilities. If you just announce that you don't agree with them, you're a target.
Yeah, that's awful, but I also can believe it because, you know, being online and being on social media, it is like that. It's, you know, it's really a problem. It's really, how did you, I mean, there must have been so many emotions going through that entire experience for you and your family. How did you get through it, you know, with all of the opinions and the hate and the death threats, and how did you handle all of that?
I kind of shut down. Like, I just, I have PTSD. And so when all of this happened, like, I just took a step back. I actually think that Jay's show was the first one that I did after that. And I want to say that that was like a month or so, maybe after. And then came Tim Boyum, and then I did Fox News. But like, I just took a step back and I reevaluated, like, okay, what now? Like, now I've gone viral. I've gained all these followers, like, for something that's completely out of my niche. Like, how do you handle this? And
Yeah.
I mean, that's on top of being threatened, and, you know, like, people just feel like, oh, we know each other now, so let me, you know, fire a DM off to you and tell you exactly what I think about you. And of course, things change, right? Like, so immediately, like, my kids are off limits. Like, I no longer share like photos of them. I keep, you know, my kids private now. I never thought I needed to do that before, right? Because most people who do what I do in my niche, they're free to share their kids with the world, and they have no worries about it whatsoever. And so I found myself in a position where I had to step back and really think about, you know, how much information I want to give, right? And so, I mean, now when I have an event, I don't tell people, hey, I'm going to be here at this time, because I realize that that can be dangerous. And so that changed. My niche kind of changed, because now I don't just talk about North Carolina culture anymore. Now I talk about North Carolina culture, and I discuss politics. But
you don't necessarily want, you're like, I don't necessarily want to be doing this. Like,
I mean,
I don't want.
It opened doors too, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like I get invited to do speeches now, and now I get invited to other events. Like I'm going to the Libertarian convention that's coming up, and I'll be covering that. Like, so I mean, it opened doors too. It wasn't all bad, but it was overwhelming, and it definitely required me to step back and take a look at how I was living my life and if that was dangerous or not.
Don't apologize for anything. Like all three of y'all are badass. Like you got, I look up to all three of y'all. Like I appreciate y'all. I respect y'all. Like everything that y'all are doing. Like I like this meeting wouldn't have happened if I didn't I like literally I care about all three of y'all, and don't apologize for anything that you're doing, because you are like your heart is in it, and it's I just don't know how to explain it. Like you find like all these different fake people online. You find all these different people, like they're looking for money, they're looking for political like things that they're doing, and you find people that are genuine, and you find people that are like on here for all the right reasons, and you can separate like like who the good people are, who the bad people are, and like who the people are like making a difference. And like all three of you are making a difference. All three of you are well intentioned. All three of you are genuine. Like you guys are like, don't apologize for anything that you're doing on here, because like it's like you guys are awesome, and this is exactly what we're on here for. This is exactly why Elon bought this platform. You guys are doing the things that you're doing. Like I just don't know. Like it's better than the news. It's better than like it's just, I don't know. It's just,
I think it's more representative and it's more authentic. Like,
yeah, it's real. It resonates with real people. Like we're all like parents. We're all like living our lives and all these different things, and you guys are just representing us in a better way than things like news and all the like paid like social media people or whatever. Like it's all authentic, and you guys are doing awesome things for us.
thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes, thank you.
So nice. So nice. Means a lot. I think that is kind of a nice thing about video and being able to live stream, or whether I think people get a much better sense of who you really are. And they can kind of cut through the BS. I think they see, Hannah, to your point, sort of the authenticity or lack thereof, the genuineness. I think it really does kind of come through as opposed to just text or posts or even audio. There's, you can kind of get a better sense of people. And I do think, it's by talking about our experiences and kind of coming together, people are feeling very similarly. They're in a lot of like, people are having very similar experiences to what, you, Cassie, what you just talked like. And so the more that we can put that out there and talk about it, people are like, oh, like her too, like this happened to me, and it connects us. I think it brings us closer together. Why are you laughing?
People are asking what I'm drinking.
Wait, what?
People are asking what I'm drinking.
Oh, that's funny. Like via, not in the chat, right?
Yeah, no, texting me. I'm drinking rum. So
why do they suspect that you're drinking alcohol?
Tipsy Justin is fun. I knew that wasn't coffee, so
that's funny. That's funny.
Well, no, I am drinking rum, but the thing is like it's just refreshing for people to speak their mind, talk about the things that they really believe in, and seeing you guys out here. Like Angela is, if Angela wanted to make money, if Angela really wanted to like if she was a grifter, if all like everything that she gets accused of, if all these things were true, like she would go the route of like, you know, the Krasensteins. She would go the route of, but that's not who Angela is. Angela is, she's principled, she's smart, she's, you know, she, and the thing is like she's gonna do the talk to different sides of, you know, like talk to conservatives. She has like hardcore conservatives on here, she has liberals on here, she has all these different, you know, voices on here, and she talks to both sides. And she, you know, this is a difference. This is the better side of, you know, social media. This is the better side. Like this is where we're actually bridging, like bridging the gap. We're making connections, and we're getting to a better place in life. And so, you know, I don't know what else to say about it, but like, you know, she's like everybody's laughing at me. But
this is why people were asking what you were drinking.
Yeah. I'm not tipsy, but I have.
I am.
Cassie brought the shine. We said Cassie.
Always.
Are we talking moonshine?
Yeah.
But
Nice.
You want to see it? I can go grab it for you.
This is healthier. Like this is exactly why we're on here. This is it. Like we're not here for echo chambers. Like we could all talk to each other, like in, you know, whatever, like in whatever, like, you know, social media. We like it's easy to do these things, but like getting out here, talking across, you know, party lines, all these different things, like it's harder to do. And so I just appreciate, like, Shane was the reason that brought me to you, and I just think that like we're doing better things on here. Like you are one of the few accounts out here that it's like it's bringing people together. Like it's really like it's a healthy thing. And it's like there are good people on both sides of the aisle, and this is what you need to do, and so you're doing it.
I appreciate that so much. I'm sure we all can relate, you know, having support, having, you know, appreciation is really nice, because there's a lot of tough conversations going on with other people in my life who don't understand what I'm doing and have a lot to say about it. So, you know, a lot of close friends, family, but I guess that's how you know that, you know, you're really passionate about that and feel strongly about doing what you think is making a positive difference. But obviously not everyone is going to agree with that. So you have to live your truth and do you, and somehow be comfortable with that, despite all of the nasty comments and death threats and negativity and shit that people have to say, because everyone has an opinion about everything. You can't win. You're never going to make everyone happy. So this is kind of funny. David said, when we suspect someone's getting drunk, we say, have you been sniffing the maid's apron?
I've never heard that one.
Fun fact. Hold on. I don't want to miss. There's a lot of good comments. They said somebody build a campfire and let's hold hands and sing. Oh, but I do want to go back to this too, because this is something we talk about a lot. Kimmy said it's called dichotomous thinking. We have talked about this a lot, actually. Things are black and white, no possibility for nuance. It's broken thinking. It's so obnoxious. Everyone's trying to put a box and a label, and 100%. It's that black and white, all or nothing. It's this way or that way, right or wrong. Like, where's the, you know, the spectrum and the in-betweens?
I think that's why people have like issues with you, Angela, in particular. And I think me too, is because they have such a hard time pigeonholing us. Like, we have such diverse viewpoints. Like, we kind of pick and choose our, you know, policy points. Like, it's not based on right or left. It's based on what we think about things and like our opinions. And I think that confuses people. It's like, you're supposed to, if you think this one thing, you're supposed to also think all of these other things. And like, you're not allowed to check boxes on both sides. And that really confuses people for some reason.
Yeah. Imagine thinking for yourself. I mean,
Wild.
who does that? I mean, I just want to listen. I want to regurgitate what everyone else is saying, or not everyone else, but certain people are saying. You guys are funny in the chat. Very bold of you, liberal. I know everybody wants me to pick up the bass. One of these days, I'm really out of practice. I need to get it going again.
Hannah, does Nikki follow you?
Oh,
No.
What?
No, I know. I've been trying.
All right.
Someday it'll happen. I always, and once I like start manifesting, if I really want someone to follow me, it always happens eventually. I just have to like manifest it hard enough. So
That's, yeah. Hunter Eagleman got followed by her. Like,
I know. I've been seeing people like on the right who have like, oh, Nicki Minaj follow me. I'm like, I deserve this more than you.
we need to get on this campaign.
Yeah.
We need to work together to make this happen for you, Hannah.
Yes, we do.
I don't want to forget. Do you want to ask Cassie your question that you like to ask all the guests?
Cassie, what do you think about Nicki Minaj and her recent support of Trump and Trump accounts and all of that?
So I've always loved Nicki Minaj, which is funny because Jay told me he said that you were obsessed with Nicki Minaj. So I've always loved her. Super Bass is my favorite of her songs.
Love it.
So when she came out for Trump, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? Like, oh my God. But kind of like with national politics, like I'm not one of those people who gets really into whatever's going on in like the music world or Hollywood or anything like that anymore. So like I'm not as probably into it as you are, but yeah, I love her.
Love it.
We're Barb's here.
Yes.
I'm glad we got that in. I'm glad Jay gave you a heads up that was coming because it's a regular thing. I almost forgot because we didn't have you last week, Hannah, so I almost forgot to ask.
I know. I'm glad you remembered.
Thank you. Jay helped. So yeah, a couple of things. While we're kind of on this social media topic, social media has made it abundantly easy to share opinions. We have always the keyboard warriors. It's unfortunate because the art of dialogue is being lost, particularly with the younger generations. So I guess to everyone, one of my questions about this is social media bringing Americans together or pushing them further apart? What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I would definitely say that it's pushing us apart. Me personally, like I think that, I mean, like I said, I come from this very politically mixed family, and my friends are very politically mixed. I mean, I'm great friends with Zeb Smathers. He is my hometown mayor. He is a full-blown Democrat. Like I wouldn't call him a leftist, but he is definitely a Democrat. I just did a podcast episode with Jonah Garson. He's the North Carolina Democratic Party vice chair. We got along great. I totally disagreed with his policies, but I loved who he was as a human being. But when I posted that I was getting ready to have that talk, like everybody, the claws came out, right? Like people were so mad.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like if we don't start seeing each other as human beings, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. And I don't think it really sank in for me until after I went viral, and like the kind of reaction that I got, it was either intense love or intense hate, right? And there's no in between. And I encounter that every single day. And so for me, I feel like people need to get outside and touch grass. Like go love on your babies, play with your dog, like love on your spouse, like something. Like people really need to remember that, social media is not real. I mean, every picture of me, I've got a filter on. I don't get me wrong, like I'm brutally honest in my opinions and my views, but what you're seeing is not my real life. Like I have struggles. I'm sure you do too. And everybody on the panel tonight, like we all have a real life, right? And it's not just sitting around like having fun discussions while drinking rum, right? Like it's all the dirty, nasty things, from dealing with our finances to dealing with our kids to the petty spats that we get in and dealing with our families. Like it's not all like, I don't know anybody outside of social media who is walking up to complete and total strangers and bashing them about who they voted for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not doing that. And social media definitely gives that illusion.
it for sure gives people a venue to be hateful. And Angela, I really like your question because, you know, I think it's definitely everything you said, Cassie, is right. And I think that those are all valid points, but it's hard personally for me. Social media has been so great. I've met so many of my best friends like through X, and I don't know. I think when you use it the right way, it can really be a good tool. But I think the problem is that so many people don't use it the right way. And like all these anonymous accounts that, you know, hide behind a fake picture or a no name and like that gives them a pass to harass people. Like we're all here putting our faces and our names on our accounts and standing behind what we say 10 toes down. Like here we are. And that's rare. A lot of people just want to hide. They want to use social media as like their little tool for evil, I guess. It's
and to say the absolute worst things because there's really no repercussions because you don't the keyboard warrior thing. Yeah.
And I think like I think a lot of good things can come from it. Jay has mentioned it before, but
oh no.
Oh. Can you hear me, Angela?
I have no idea what's going on.
Oh my gosh. I can hear you. Yeah. And we lost Jay.
Yeah. We're falling apart here.
What is going on? Cassie, you can try to drop and come back. Oh, you can't hear me. Bloopers. I guess I could write it in the chat.
Guess it's a good thing we're almost at the end here.
This is crazy. Well,
the wheels are falling off.
We're having issues. We lost Cassie. Well, we lost you, and then Cassie said she couldn't hear.
Well,
hey.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Can we all reach and see each other? That was crazy. Someone hacked in. They heard they didn't like what we were saying.
Yeah, apparently not.
They're like, "Oh, you want a keyboard warrior? Here you go."
I was
so we
letting
just blow up this stream.
Yeah, I was letting my dogs out, and I dropped my camera down, and it wouldn't let me get back in. So I had to like.
I thought you needed a rum refill.
Yeah.
a rum fill.
I need it, but yeah.
Sorry. So okay, we got everyone back. Everyone has sound. That's great. Yeah, no, I love this topic, and because it's not really a simple answer, because there is, you know, Hannah, to your point, like there are beautiful things that are coming out of social media, sort of this community that you can find. You can connect with people around the same things, but then it also can be such an ugly, nasty place of hate and negativity. And it kind of makes me think of, you know, what Cassie was saying about earlier about kind of where, not your priorities, but how many fucks you give about, I know you didn't use that colorful word, but
it was perfect.
like what do you give fucks about? What don't you know? But that's hard. That's easier said than done, because like you said, we're all human. We all are going through our own stuff. And so mental health wise, it can be difficult at certain times, what you listen to, what you don't listen to, and how all of it affects you. And for young people, we talk about this all the time too. You know, Cassie, for your kids, like that can be really tough too, the bullying and all, just, I don't know, it being so out there and available now.
So my kids are technically, they're both grown now. God, that makes me want to cry. My youngest just turned 18. My oldest is 22, and neither one of them are really into social media, which I think is like an incredible blessing to me. But they both worry about what I do. And that makes me so angry that my kids, they both like, my youngest told me just recently, she was like, you know, you've been retweeted by Elon Musk. Like there are people who literally want to hurt you who are out there. And one day I'm going to have to enter social media through work or whatever. And how am I supposed to handle that? And what do you tell your kid when they say something like that to you? You know, I mean, the best I had was, you know, I'm your mom and I'm always going to be your mom. And not only are there going to be negative things, but there are going to be positive things too. You know, you can use this, you can either look at it, as if it's the worst thing in the world, or you can look at it as if there's an opportunity that you have that there are other people who won't have just because I'm your mom. And so I pray that helped her a little bit, but I'd never considered, like, I knew that this would have an impact on them, but I never thought that they were thinking, is this going to hurt my future? And that just broke my heart, because as a mama, you never want to think that, right? Like, that you're
Yeah.
doing something that might hurt your kid's future, but this is something they think about.
Yeah. I can imagine that's hard to hear. But what's really striking me about listening to you tonight, though, is what a great model you are for your kids, because there's always going to be challenges in life. These things are going to happen. You can't predict, unpredictable things. And it's really a lot about how you handle them. And I feel like witnessing you go through some of this stuff and really be strong throughout it and resilient, I think, it's going to teach them serve them so well when they go through their own, and as they are, I'm sure they already are, but the challenges that they face, that strength that they see in you and how you've been able to, navigate these things, I think is really going to help them.
I hope so. I pray. I pray that's where we end up, right? But yeah, I mean, I think that they're learning to come to terms with it. But I'm really impressed, because I'm the oldest of the millennials, right? And so we were the first ones who got access to Facebook and MySpace and to Twitter and to all of these things. And so we were obsessed with it. And my kids were like, eh. So I mean, I love that. That's great.
I love that too.
Yeah.
This is really sweet. Kimmy said, I'm followed by both Cassie and Angela on X, more than I'd ever expect to happen. If no one else follows me, I'm good. That's so sweet.
Aw, that makes me happy.
That's so nice. Social media is causing us to lose our sense of patience. We're now expecting, that's true. People want instant results with everything, like everything, overnight success, overnight, weight loss, take a pill right now, work for it kind of a thing. Most people are inherently good-ish. It's when radical ideology takes over that common sense becomes uncommon. Great point. Oh my gosh. You guys I love it. Be a free thinker. You guys are really chatting it up over here. I run a small business and life can get pretty stressful. I use social media for current news, sports, and humor. That's it. It makes the other stuff easier. I do think that, right? You have to set your own limits and boundaries and kind of be self-aware of how it's affecting you and your mental health, and when you need to take those breaks or detoxes, or, set limits to how much you're on it. Or a lot of times I'll just ignore, like, a lot of times won't read my comments. It's just, going down that rabbit hole.
I got in a bad place recently because I have some private stuff going on, and then social media. I don't know what's going on lately. I don't know if everybody on Twitter has like synced up and they were all having their periods at one time, but it felt like everybody was just being a douche to me, right? And so I already had this other stuff going on, and like, what was it, Monday? I woke up and I was in an awful mood. I picked my youngest up from her co-op that she does for homeschool. And I came home and I just started drinking at like 12:30, and I drank all day, all into the night. And I woke up on Tuesday and I was in a great mood. And I was like, you know what? If the world did this every once in a while, everybody would be so much happier.
Yeah. Fair. However you need to get through it. Like, there's days like that. There's times like that. Sometimes when it rains, it pours. I think we can all relate to that. And we have our own ways of coping and getting through it. And there's no shame, whatever works for you. But yeah, we all have those times. Life can be lifing, and it
Right.
can all life be lifing. I love saying that. I used to say that to my clients too. Anyways, I just want to miss. All right. I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Well, yeah, man, this has been so awesome. I guess real quickly, we could touch on some current event topics because I am actually curious. We talked a lot the other night about Iran. Jay, I don't know if you have anything that you want to add from the other night. Tuesday, we're kind of talking about it. But I don't know. Cassie, I know you don't really want to talk. Is there anything, Hannah, I'm curious to hear from you too, how you're feeling about what's going on in Iran. Anything?
I am such a weirdo when it's about, I'm one of those people where like, I don't want America to police the world. And so I don't want us to be in a war. But at the same time, I also look at certain things that are going on in the world and I'm like, that's pure evil and that shouldn't be allowed to stand. And so like, I wasn't upset when a guy who wrote a book that said, you know, it's okay to molest baby girls died. I wasn't upset.
Yeah, it's for me, I've tweeted a lot about it a little bit. It's complicated. I do trust Trump, and I think that he wouldn't get involved in an international situation like this and, you know, another war if it weren't necessary. And I do trust his leadership in that aspect. But, you know, I was in kindergarten, I think, when 9/11 happened. So I am very much a child of the war on terror. Like, grew up in elementary school and middle school, you know, writing letters to the troops, and like it was just very much normal life growing up. Was like we fight this war in the Middle East, and you know our troops are there, and some, you know, we know some people who have gone there, we know some people who have fought there, and like it touched everybody, I think, in my generation especially. And I think it's crazy to me that there are kids, my sister included now, who weren't even born when 9/11 happened, because it's like that changed the whole world in front of our eyes. And so I am jaded about it. I'm jaded that we're in another war. I'm jaded that, you know, similar the feeling I don't like that we're the world's police, but you know, I trust Trump. I trust his judgment, and I think that the transparency and the updates we've been given and stuff is way beyond anything we've been given before. So yeah, I hope it's efficient. I hope it's over quickly. But I have a jaded attitude towards war in the Middle East in general, being a child of the war on terror.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think it's obviously complicated, right? And I don't know either. But you know, if it's necessary, obviously there's concerns that this is going to go on longer. So
did Hannah just make anyone else feel old, or was that just me? Because I was 18 when that happened, and it definitely jaded me. But yeah, I remember it way too well.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I feel like that I was at a unique age in that I was super young, so it was like this is just the world that I've grown up in and known. I feel like people who are a little bit older, or who were a little bit older, like when it happened, you kind of remember the world before 9/11 and after 9/11. Whereas like I don't really. I knew that when it happened, something big was happening, and like, you know, the world was changing. I could sense that even as a kid, but like I don't really remember pre 9/11, the pre 9/11 world. So
I don't know what the other people who were adults when it happened, what it was like where you were, but in North Carolina, we're a very big military state. And like, if you are from North Carolina and you're a local, you have a lot of family who's in the military. That's just the way it is. It's always been that way, going all the way back. And so, I mean, it wasn't just that 9/11 happened. It was like 9/11 happened, and then your friends and your family started signing up for the military. They get shipped off, and you start losing people at 18, 19, 20 years old that you've known your whole life. Like, it was shocking.
Mm-hmm. The thing that broke my heart really was how many was it? I can't remember the number, but I think it was like 13 service members who died on the exit of Afghanistan. And I think the majority, if not all of them, I remember looking into it at the time, were not even born when 9/11 happened. So they died fighting in a war that they did not see the beginning of, which is so crazy.
Wow. Absolutely. Good night, K-Rod. I'm gonna call you K-Rod. I don't know, something about the discussion on the panel tonight. Great show. Keep up the good work, but it's time for this old guy to hit the hay. Love the discussion and panel tonight. And the sound of my knees makes me feel old.
Mine too.
Greek was a freshman in high school when 9/11 happened. Yeah, well, thanks for your thoughts on that, guys. Last up, Kristi Noem is out. we have to talk a bit about that. Obviously, as per usual, the public reaction is mixed, like everything else we've been talking about, right? The Democrats are, of course, it's never enough. So it's like, they're just basically like, it should have happened sooner, or like, she should have been held more accountable rather than another role being created for her. Basically, it's whatever. They're kind of still going on that. What is making me laugh is this new position, this new role. What are your guys' thoughts on it and her job performance?
Yeah, what's the new role?
Oh my gosh. I had to write it down because her new role is Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, which does that mean? Like a real thing. That sounds like a fictional new position title, in my opinion. This is her sort of response, which is funny. Thanks for appointing me. I mean, he fired her, really, but like, we're just going to casually, gloss over that. Thanks for appointing me as the Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. So that's funny.
I think she's just kind of a ding dong. I think that's my general impression of her.
Yeah, I think people are kind of like, she cares more about hair extensions and like.
Well, yeah, she lost me at the dog thing, right?
I was gonna say, it's one of those things where I really just don't care about. Like, I think people think I'm a lot more political than I am. Like, I'm solely focused on North Carolina, and like when it comes to like national politics and stuff, it's my husband who's got to fill me in on everything. Like with Kristi Noem, all I know about her is that she killed a dog. And I grew up on a farm, and so I can kind of relate to that. But at the same time, I'm like, we didn't just kill dogs. Like, if there was a dog that couldn't perform its duties, it got given away. It didn't get shot. Like, if there was a dog that needed to be shot, it got shot. And I can, kind of make an argument for that. But you just you killed a dog, and then I don't know. It's just one of those things. I just don't care. Like, I just.
Well, she didn't do a terrible job. The reason why she was fired is she lied under testimony, like that that President Trump knew about a commercial that she was in or whatever, and he didn't actually know about the thing. There may be more beyond that, but the thing is like, in terms of like what we got done in the past year, like if she was involved in that, if she had a say in that, they did a phenomenal job. Like it was like shutting down the border. The difference between President Trump and Joe Biden was astronomical. Like the numbers difference is astronomical. And if Kristi Noem had a part in that, if she was actually instrumental in that, like she did a great job, and I don't fault her for anything. Markway Mullen is the her replacement or whatever. Like he's, I think he will do a good job. But the thing is like, in terms of conservative politics and concerned like what everybody's like focused on right now, I think Ken Paxton is the bigger thing right now. Like That's the greater divide right now. Like that's the bigger issue. Like Kristi Noem, it's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah, I guess some of the questions are, was this necessary after the recent weeks of controversy? Was she hurting the administration's immigration agenda? That sort of thing. And then I was hearing some stuff about whistleblowers today who are talking about that there were cuts to the proper training and vetting process, like when it came to immigration enforcement, which is kind of interesting.
Fire Pam Bondi. Fire,
Well,
like really, like you want to make a difference.
Madeline would totally be on board with that.
Yeah, fire her ass. Like that's like Kristi Noem, whatever. Like it's not a big deal, but like
yeah,
Fire Pam Bondi, like that's a big deal. Like that's a huge issue right now. And Ken Paxton is another. Like I said, it's a big thing. Like if President Trump endorses Cornyn and doesn't get the SAVE Act for it, it's done for us. Like 2026, it's done for us. Like that is the nail in the coffin for like conservatives. Like it's
a lot of people are saying that about the Watley Don Brown endorsement.
Yeah, Don Brown,
North Carolina. I'm not convinced that Cooper is not going to win. I pray he doesn't, and I'm gonna do everything I can to spread the message, just like I'm hoping everybody else will, and remind people exactly what life was like under Cooper. But I mean, I really think that was an awful endorsement.
Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree. And the difference between like Don Brown and Paxton was actively in during the Biden administration. He was on the border issue. He was going against like Meta, he was going against Google, he was going against all these different things. Like Paxton was in it the whole time. And if Trump goes against Paxton on his, it's done. Like it's like so many people are gonna just be completely I don't know, he cannot do, he has to endorse Paxton. Like it's over after that if he doesn't do that.
You heard it here. Jay's been saying that all night, so I'm
Paxton,
waiting to see what's going to happen here.
Well, I had a congressional candidate on last night, and he didn't know who Paxton was, and I was like, "How in the fuck do you not know who Paxton is?" Like, if you're going for Congress, you have to know who this guy is. Ken Paxton was holding the line on the sand. He's our dude. I don't know.
All right. Well, just to wrap on Kristi Noem, she said, sounds like a gardening job, just holding her there and she'll be gone from there soon. She's a bit of a plastic fantastic, loves the TV time. Hannah, did you have anything you wanted to add on this decision with Kristi?
No.
Thoughts?
No one cares.
Whatever.
No.
It happened. Well, it's in the it's in the headlines. It's in the news for the day. So just making sure everyone is aware. And just curious if anyone had anything that they wanted to say about it.
What did you think?
Well, I mean, I feel like I saw it coming, with all it's just been getting really heated with there's just been a lot of, judgment about the obviously the deaths, the shootings, and yeah, I don't know. So I'm not surprised by it, but yeah. Well, guys, this has been incredible. Thank you, Cassie, so much for being here. Please tell everyone where they can find you, how they can support you, watch the podcast, read the blog, all the things you've got going on. Where can the people?
Yeah, so everything is Where the Dogwood Blooms. So you can find me at wherethedogwoodblooms.com. My YouTube is Where the Dogwood Blooms. And then on X, I'm Dogwood Blooms. And so I talk about, culture in North Carolina, and, I try to spread a little bit of joy mixed in with the rage bait. So
it definitely sounds like you're spreading a lot of joy and positivity and making a difference, which is a beautiful thing that we need more of. So thank you for doing that. And I'm so happy that Jay connected us. Thanks, Jay, for making the introduction here and getting this all together.
Yeah, she's one of the kindest people you will meet on here. It doesn't matter like what your platform is, what political, whatever you fall into. Like Cassie is one of the nicest people. I will say the same thing about Angela and also Hannah. Like three of the nicest people you'll meet on this platform. And so I'm glad that you guys had this time together. Like I really wish I wasn't even in here. I wish you guys would have just like free flowed. Like you don't need me in here or whatever. Like you guys are awesome. And I'm just like, I want to highlight the good ones. I want to see like you guys be elevated. I want to see you guys like get your message out there or whatever, because every single one of you is positive, and that's what it's all about. Like it's really, there's so much negativity out there, so many people trying to tear others down, and you guys aren't doing that. You guys are positive. You guys are barbs. You guys are up China. You guys are lives. Like you guys are like awesome people, and I just want I want to see you guys up to the top. Like you guys are awesome things.
Thanks, Jay. We appreciate you. You rock. Everybody follow Jay. He's got some great shows going on, so tune in for those. Hannah is here every Thursday when we do these Bold Voices streams, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Any final things you guys want to shout out? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Y'all rock.
Yes, that was so fun.
So fun. Always. So nice to meet you, Cassie. You're lovely. Everything Jay said is true. I've really enjoyed talking with you, all of you, and getting to know you better tonight. So thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
Good night, guys. Thank you. All right, bold chat, bold audience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for chatting with us. You all rock. Appreciate you. The chat was really lit tonight. You guys were really killing it over here. I was like having trouble keeping up with it all. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love when you weigh in. So much great information in there, weighing in, and yeah, really, really appreciate it, and getting to know you guys better as well. Appreciate the audience and the amazing panel of guests tonight. Thank you guys all so much. Peace, Greek. Cheers, guys and ladies. Roll a 6 and I'll buy you some chocolates, AB. That's funny. Referring to the dice over here. You guys rock. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe on YouTube to Bold Voices. We have these live stream coming at you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We do kind of a mix of special guests, interviews to kind of get to know people better, learn more about their stories. I feel like hearing about it's nice to get to know people beyond, the content they create and what you think you might know about them. Just kind of doing a deeper dive into their story, their journey, and having some fun together, some laughs, learning things, connecting, as we mentioned, bridging gaps. So we do that. And we also kind of talk current events, headlines, things that are going on in the world, in the country. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. Always appreciate the support. All the love, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest. Oh yeah, it's daylight savings this weekend. So everybody, be on the, just make sure you're aware so that, you don't miss anything important, or we are going to lose some sleep. Hopefully that doesn't affect anyone too much. I'm excited about more sunlight. So there's that in the evening, but it's been a good one, guys. I've really appreciated it. Appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your night, a great weekend. We will see you for Bold Voices live stream next on Tuesday. Spring forward is right. That is what's going on this weekend. So enjoy. The weather in Florida is beautiful, so I'm very excited about that. Not to rub it in for all my northern friends and stuff. All right, I've talked enough. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you. Stay. Oh no, what is this? Pop up. Stay bold.